I should probably charge this battery in this GoPro before I go to work. I'm actually going to look at a couple of lime piles, and we're supposed to have snow in the next couple of few hours. It's supposed to start snowing this afternoon, which I don't see anything on the horizon just yet, but it's coming. There's no doubt about that. But we're supposed to get snow. Tomorrow's Monday. I need to bring compost home and deliver loads of hay. That shit ain't happening in an ice and snow situation. Just not gonna do that. It's not necessary. You know, we can double up loads, and I can double up loads on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I can even go down on Saturday if I really truly wanted to. I don't really truly want to. It's not something I want to do, even though I can go down on Saturday, but I'm not doing it. It's not necessary. It just isn't. I got enough material and enough other jobs to do. My problem is, though, with lime is that it is frozen, that the lime is frozen, and chunks don't go through the lime spreader very easy. If I put a tarp on it, the water does permeate down through the lime, but the problem with putting a tarp on the lime is that it becomes too dry then, and it becomes dust, and I don't want dust. It's damp lime. I like it as damp lime. I want it to maintain a certain dampness for the reason I want to maintain that dampness is that it spreads much nicer if it's damp. So I'm just going to go over here and see what these loads look like. I need to bring another 20-25 loads home. Somebody said that there's no way in hell I should have to put, you know, 1.5 tons to 2 tons of lime to the acre to raise the pH on the soil. Well, it is very necessary to bring the pH up, and it is very important that I get a fair amount of lime on. My grandparents, even my dad, said 1.5 tons to the acre over the course of 3 years is every bit as effective as dumping the 3 to 4 tons to the acre that is actually necessary for that crop. I don't know. When I was young, we had what you called Martin limestone. Martin limestone was dry powder, pulverized lime, and it was super fine, and it worked extraordinarily fast. There's an electrolysis that takes place, and that's what neutralizes the acid. So I'm putting this lime on in the wintertime. I gotta wait for it to thaw back out again, but I'm gonna be putting this limestone on in the wintertime, and hopefully by summer it's washed into the soil enough, and then I will be working it into the soil along with the compost and the other amendments that I'm putting down. There's a cop coming up here. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I've put 1.5 tons of lime to the acre, and it just seems to fire up the nutrients in the soil and neutralize that pH just fine. And that's all I'm really looking for. And if I have to do 1.5 tons to the acre, or actually I screwed up. I had the gate open 1 inch wider, so I wasn't putting 3,400 pounds to the acre. I was actually putting 4,000 and change, about 2 tons to the acre. So I really don't want to over apply lime. Not that I would over apply the lime, but I will take these soil tests again in the spring, next spring 2020 or fall of 2022, and we'll see where the cards fall, as far as pHs. Now I'm gonna have to come over here and grab these bales. I gotta tighten this tarp too. Excuse me. So but that's the plan, is to get get this, yeah, hold on here. The plan is to get the lime on and to get the compost here for this job. You know, this job. There's a job here. It's a pretty good size job. I haven't put any here yet, but I'm going to be putting a bunch of compost here. I need to get at least 18 loads in here. My brush hog is down there, and that brush hog needs to be finished up using it, you know, finish it up. And then I got some corn fodder here. There's not a lot of it, but there is a bunch of limestone here, and we're gonna look at that. I know I'm just rambling on, guys. I'm not really making much sense because I'm thinking and talking at the same time, which takes an effort. I did have somebody in here yesterday. Mr. Walker was in here yesterday buying hay from the guy that stores hay up in the barn there. Well, you can see this stuff is just blowing, but it is solid as a rock. I could have put a tarp on it, but you know, all honesty, I don't need to be. Look at this, it's like a snowdrift up in here. I mean, imagine if I could I just can't have these chunks. But you know what, it's not as froze as you'd think, but for being 1 degree this morning. But you can see how this stuff just blows. It's blowing all over the place. There's been a fox up in here. So yeah, see all the dust, all the lime, how it's blown out here? That's something that needs to stop. Yeah. Anyway, wow, it blew quite a ways. It blew quite a ways. Yep. Oh yeah. pH on this field is 5.4. No. What is the pH on this? 5.8. Not 5.4. 5.8. As you can see, these fields were soybeaned to death. Literally soybeaned to death. And stalks are breaking down. The organic matter in the soil has been raised by a point. But if you look at these, even though they're standing stalks, they're turning to a fibrous, beautiful fibrous amount of organic matter that's going to be disked in back into the soil. I'm probably not going to chisel plow this year. I'm just going to run the disc over it to keep that. I don't know though, I might chisel plow. Who knows? I may chisel plow, it doesn't matter one way or the other. If I get this lime on, I need 1, 2, I think there's 5 loads here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to get 5 more here, 5 more loads. If I get 5 more loads here, that should be enough to do everything that I have in this area with 1.5 tons of lime, which would be great. But anyway, yep, that's the, oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna take a piss. All right, so it's the end of the day. Cut up some firewood today. We got the storm of the world, century of the world, whatever the fuck you want to call it, excuse my language. Storm of the century is coming. We're supposed to get 4 inches of snow and the end of the world's coming, but that's really not why I cut firewood. We're supposed to get a lot of wind, and 4 inches of snow and wind can turn into quite a mess. And with the you can watch me drive with the emerald ash borer that came from China, killing all the ash trees, and they are now, well, let's put it this way, they're now dead. The ash trees are dead, and if we get 40-50 mile an hour wind, we're gonna have down power lines and things like that. So I just wanted to have a good way of heating the house. It's 25 degrees out there right now, but we're supposed to get, actually it's supposed to warm up before it snows. Usually does that around here. You'll have blistering cold, and then it'll warm up to right around freezing, and then it'll snow. Now, we've had sleet when it's really cold. But for the most part, it's supposed to warm up, and we're supposed to get 4 inches of snow with 40-50 mile an hour wind, gusts to 60, I guess. But that pretty much puts a damper on the pamper, really. So I decided that I wanted to have firewood in the house. So what I did was, my wood stove had a cast iron gizmo in it, and I was using coal, which I love to burn coal. Coal is so much easier than wood. It's just so much I prefer burning coal over wood any day. Any day of the week, I'll burn coal over wood. So, but anyways, I got wood. I don't have coal. I had a cast iron piece burn out, so I built a piece yesterday, and I finished it up this morning, and I put it in, and I relined my wood stove, i.e. coal stove. It's a wood or coal. It's a multi-fuel. I relined with new fire brick. Me and Teresa did that this morning. And then I went and I cut a pickup truck load of firewood and lit the fire, which is great, because now the house will be nice and toasty. I can take my clothes off and walk around in my underwear without, freezing my nubbins off. But this wind and snow is coming. I checked the generator. Generator's running. It runs good. So if we do have a power outage, I'll just throw the generator on, and that'll be it. Throw the generator on, and I'll have wood heat, and the house will be nice and toasty, and I'll just sit in there and wait out the storm. I've already told Lewis that ice and snow, we don't go. That is the motto around here. We really don't need to drive in snow and ice conditions, because I'm not that desperate for money. If I was desperate for money, I would never ask Lewis to haul for me. I would just haul myself. And who knows, tomorrow morning I might get up and it'll be snowing a little bit, and I'll load up and take a late load tomorrow anyway, just for the shits and giggles, because I've got my firewood, and if the power's not out and the wind is not too bad and my parents are feeling okay, then life will be good. So that's just the story there. And as far as the transmission on the 6210R, I would love to have that transmission in the tractor, but I haven't gotten a phone call saying that it is done. They were going to test it, and that was Friday. I imagine they did it, and now they're just going to, I imagine tomorrow or the next day, they'll let me know what the story is. But the whole job, start to finish, soup to nuts, is going to be between $5,000 and $7,000. I've got $3,300 worth of bits and pieces that are bought from John Deere, and I imagine that transmission, $1,500 for the clutches, and I suspect another $1,500 in labor and other things. So I suspect between $3,000 and $4,000, maybe even $4,500, and I'm okay with that. I don't care. We'll just, it's peace of mind, let's put it that way. This tractor gets a lot of use, and the peace of mind of it being done by somebody who's done it before versus me, who's never done a transmission like that before. Even though I felt it was super simple, and I mean, it was a super simple transmission. It's an IVT transmission. It's got a hydro, but basically it's got 4 sets of clutch packs. I would have just replaced them all, changed over the forward and reverse solenoids, forward, reverse, and neutral solenoid, and the controlling solenoids up in the front. I would have replaced those and resealed them, and achieved the same results as what these guys are going to, what I'm going to get from these guys, only, just, boy, that guy was booking for no reason. Yeah, so the transmission will be fine. And if something does fail, there is a warranty, kind of, sort of. I guess there is a warranty, because they got to guarantee their work. I'm paying them for it. Even if it's only 90 days, the troubles that I would have would pop up within minutes, literally minutes, of starting the tractor up. So, but yeah, they're going to calibrate it, and all will be good. So anyways, I'm home now, and I'm going to go in the house, and I'm going to relax after I stoke my fire, my wood fire. Life will be super nice. It'll be nice in the house. Good morning. So after all the panic of yesterday, pulling generators out of buildings and getting ready for mega snow dumpage, like 1996 or 5 or whatever the hell it was, maybe it was 7, when we were supposed to get so much snow that the apocalypse was coming. It rained. That's it. It rained. I did not load my truck yesterday because of the rain, but I found it kind of funny that R. Peak, the guy that I rescued out of the flood waters in Pittstown, New Jersey, Mr. Peak, he had snow, and Josh, the Stony Ridge farmer, he had snow, and I even believe that Cotton Top had snow. I didn't get to see his video, but he said that there was a winter storm about to hit him, and yet we get rain, and we're in the north. Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I really don't care. I'd rather have a little bit of rain than snow anyway, because rain runs off and snow I gotta push. But I do have the beard for it. Yeah.